Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. Welcome to my channel. Now, yesterday we gapped up, held the gap, pushed initially higher, then sold off a little bit, but still didn't fill the gap. So that is still bullish, right? Then you had CEO, I think his name is Juan Jensen from NVDA speaking, and he talked about partnering with some automakers. I think for autonomous driving. Don't quote me on that. Then he mentioned a $3,000 supercomputer, AI supercomputer. So the market seemed to like that. Market seemed to like that a lot. Nvidia's up 2.17% right now as I'm speaking. All right, it's over. It's like a 152.60s. Now the options market for the next expiry, monthly expiry, was only like it was looking at the 150. So now this is probably going to change. So I believe it's all-time highs right now. So that's what's going on. All right. I did not take a trade yesterday. Big gaps like that are not easy to read. Um, and even though I always can read the market, it just didn't present a great trade yesterday. Didn't really present that. All right. So with that being said, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the market, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. So I look at the market. That is my edge. All right. When I come to the market and I look at the levels that I just said, I always get reactions on every one of them. Right. That's why I keep them on my charts. Otherwise, I just get rid of it. Doesn't mean anything to me. All right. So hopefully you can join me every day at 8:10 a.m. Subscribe, set an alert. All right. That'd mean a lot to me. And smash the like button if you can. What I try to do on this channel is give you the recap of yesterday, basically give you the story to market, news, economic calendar, leaders and laggards. And then we go to the main event, usually around 8:30 a.m. I analyze the Nasdaq and the ES futures and I give my long and short trade scenarios, right? Once the market opens up, new data comes out. That's when I decide to put risk on or off. And if I decide to put risk on and the trade is educational, I will post that to my YouTube shorts. Please check that out. I just posted one over the weekend. All right, you can also check it out on my X at Gonzo719, and you can also check out my TikTok, Gonzo719Trader. I do have a Discord in its infancy. The link now doesn't expire, never expires now in my YouTube page. You can see the link, and enough people join. That will be a full-fledged community. That is the future I see. But I just want to make sure enough people are there so there's an audience. Okay. So with that being said, why don't we get right into the watch list here and see what's moving markets today. Leading the pack is silver. Silver is up 1.13%. Gold's up 0.74. Crude is up 0.54. The dollar is up 0.39. The 10-year yield's up 0.28. The Dow's up 0.21. The ES is up 0.16. The Russell's up 0.13. Nasdaq's up. Basically, Nasdaq's flat. The VIX is basically flat. The 30-year bonds being sold. Ethereum is down 1.47 and Bitcoin's down 1.61. All right, moving on to the Magnificent Seven plus. All right, that's what I talked about. NVIDIA is the leader of the pack with their CEO sparking a lot of interest in NVIDIA, pushing it higher, up 2.26%. Right, that's the really lone winner this morning. I mean, AMD's up 0.35, Boeing up 0.28. Let's go to laggards. All right, we got Meta down 0.39. Apple actually got a downgrade to a sell. They're down 1.09%. Coinbase is down 1.1% with Bitcoin's weakness. And Tesla, they're in the news for a couple things. All right, I will talk about the Tesla news in a sec. They are down 1.64%. Moving on to top sector stocks. All right, let's move over here and see Uber. Uber's up 2.96%. Snowflake's up 2.3%. Disney got an upgrade, up 1.02%. And is there a laggard? The only laggard is Salesforce. All right, let's moving on to the swing trade list. All right, let's see here. Micron up 4.17. Carvana got an upgrade, up 4.06. Ulta Beauty up 2.94%. Lululemon got an upgrade, up 2.45%. ON got it up 2.20%. Atlassian, ticker team, up 2%. GDX Gold Miners up 1.62, Dutch Bros up 1.61, Shake Shack up 1.5, Citibank's up 1.36, Bank of America up 1.28, Lucid, Zoom, Roku, SoundHound all up over 1%. All right, now let's look at laggards today. Laggard is MicroStrategies. This is going to be probably Bitcoin related, crypto related. MicroStrategies down 2.3. Ring Central's down 2.18. Mara Mining down 1.95%. Riot down 1.78. Baba down 1.53. Bitcoin ETFs down. Palantir's down 1.22. Datadog got a downgrade. They're down 1.21%. The Ross down 1.13. And Chewy down 1%. All right. That is your laggards. Let's go to sectors, the guts of the market. Let's look at this together. All right, semiconductors leading the pack with your NVIDIA, right? Up 0.70, followed by energy, up 0.52, followed by financials, up 0.29, followed by technology, up 0.13. Then you have utilities up 0.09, staples up 0.08. The only laggard on the board is discretionary. That's with Tesla being down. Okay. Moving on to economic calendar now. All right. Let's see here. All right, today we have Fed Barking speaking at 8 a.m. So he's speaking already. We have exports, imports at 10 a.m. though. We have ISM services and Jolts jobs. So maybe around, I don't like to trade the first 5 minutes of the market, but if I find something I like, I will trade before 10 a.m. However, if I don't have anything on, then I will wait till the dust settles after 10 a.m. Okay, now going into some news here about Tesla, right? It says Tesla stock drops as Bank of America cuts rating on high execution risk valuation. Shares fell 2% in pre-market trading after Bank of America analysts downgraded the stock to neutral from buy, while the bank raised its price target on the stock to 490 from 400. Analysts caution the execution risk is high, and Tesla is trading at a level that captures much of our base case long-term potential from core autos. Okay, that's what's going on there. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm sure there's going to be something about NVIDIA here. Yep, let's go into it. So NVIDIA stock rose 2.4% after the chip giant unveiled new products such as artificial intelligence to better train robots and cars, souped up gaming chips, and the first desktop computer as it expounded upon its potential to expand its business. We just talked about Tesla. Meta stock fell 0.6 after Facebook parent Meta platform said it would end its current third-party fact-checking program in the United States instead of begin moving to a community notes program similar to that on social media platform X. Microsoft stock rose 0.5 that a software giant announced plans to spend $3 billion to expand its Azure cloud and artificial intelligence capacity in India. Okay. Apple stock fell. Talked about this too. 1.1% after analysts at MoffettNathanson downgraded its stance on the iPhone maker to a sell. Right? Micron stock rose 4.2 after NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang revealed that the company is supplying memory chips for NVIDIA's new graphics processing units. Wow, that's why Micron's up. Uber stock rose 2.5 after the ride-hailing company announced it has teamed up with NVIDIA to accelerate autonomous mobility. Walt Disney stock rose 0.6 after the river upgraded its stance. I was talking about that earlier. Okay. Now, The juice doesn't really have anything for us today. We're going to go right into upgrades, downgrades. Start with the upgrades. We have Bank of America, Dutch Bros, Cardinal Health, Cleveland Cliffs, Clorox. Let's see here, Carvana. We have Hood, Robin Hood. We have Lululemon. We got Shake Shack, Shell, Snowflake, those Zoom. Okay, those are your upgrades today. Downgrades. There's not. Well, this is obviously wrong. All right. Let's just look at downgrades on my other way to look at downgrades here. Just so I give you some downgrades. Okay. Here we go. Some downgrades. I'm only going to do a C here. FCX. Let's see who else is in the news here. Dow. Apple. Got the downgrade. We know about the Apple downgrade. This is, I believe that's Ross. Let's see here. I believe this is Ross. Ross Stores. Yep, Ross Stores downgraded. All right. Datadog downgraded. Ring Central downgraded. All right, that's about all for the downgrades. Price target. We could just stay on this page. Let's see price targets here. Uber, Citibank, all getting Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So financials getting loved this morning. All right. PepsiCo. Let's see here what PepsiCo said. It's like Wells Fargo adjust price target on PepsiCo to 155 from 170. Wow. Even though that's a price target lower and it's up. It's getting battered, PepsiCo lately. Let's see here. Anything else to note? Nah, Southwest Airlines. Let's see that. So Susquehanna adjust price target on Southwest Airlines to 38 from 33. That's actually a price target raise, but it's down. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. I think we're ready for daily charts. Let's do that. All right. Check out the SPY. Zoom in a little bit here. All right. So we had a big gap up. We opened here, pushed all the way up to 600 almost, right? Which was also, well, we went past 6,000 on SPX, which is the largest gamma level, right? And we couldn't hold above that. Now, just to know, when you're in positive gamma, as soon as you go above a large gamma strike, option makers and dealers will have to short the stock. So that's when you're in positive gamma, it's a sell the rip by the dip kind of environment. So now, look at SPY here. It went all the way above the 20-day simple moving average and closed below it. Close below. Where are we at now? 596.30. 596.30. Right about here. Right at the open of yesterday, about almost the mid of session yesterday. So not the greatest trade location. Let's look at the futures so we can see what's really going on here. So you can see it pushed off the 100-day moving average right at the 50-day moving average in futures. Right. This is last week's highs. We broke that yesterday. We fell back into last week's range. So that's what's going on with the SPY in the ES futures. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs. So the Qs gapped up, right? Now, big difference in the Qs is, look, there's last week's range, the orange, way above it, stayed above last week's range, making a new weekly range. Held above the 20-day simple moving average. Okay? Pushed up all the way up to about 528, then found some selling, right? But structure-wise, in the chart-wise, it's stronger than SPY. Let's look at the Nasdaq futures here. So in futures, it's holding the 20 simple moving average right here, and look where it's at, the top of last week's range, right there. That's last week's highs. Okay. So you need to make a new range and see where that can go. Possibly it can go up to 22,105. We have to see. Oh, let me go back to the Qs. where we're at now. Where are we at now? 524.50. Let's say 524.50. Yeah, we're right about yesterday's close. So it's kind of flat and in the middle of the range, which is just not a great location. Okay, moving on to the triple-headed monster here. That's your 10-year yield. Let's look at that bond market. All right, wow, this is pretty nuts. So we have key resistance right here, 4.63 yield. Next one is 4.679. Okay, if we break out here, next resistance is here on this swing high up here. This would be pretty crazy, right? We're in a cutting, easing environment and yields are rising, right? Now, some people are saying this is because of the tariffs, unknown, inflation's been going up. So this is pretty crazy, right? So 10-year yields rocked in with mortgage rates. So mortgage rates should be going higher if we keep going higher, okay? Pretty crazy. All right, that is your 10-year yield. Now let's look at that dollar. The dollar kind of pulled back yesterday, but I think today, yeah, it was weak again here a little bit. But now you got some buying excess here. Just have to see, watch the dollar. All right, let's look at our fear gauge. That's our VIX, and our VIX is hanging out. All right, 16. That's still nice. 16 VIX is a 1% move plus or minus expected in the S&P 500. Okay, that's how that works. So we're kind of like in a nice 16 VIX is nice. All right, for some ranges. All right, now that is the triple-headed monster. Now let's move on to the main event here. We'll go right into here. Okay, let's expand this a little bit. Alrighty. So first thing we're gonna do is look at yesterday and what happened, right? We'll spread this out. So our market profile is 30-minute bars. All right, so we opened here, pushed down, and then we just pushed up, melted up, almost into supply, into these single prints, which I have to adjust. So I'll adjust those single prints. All right, and then you got some selling in the market. Push down into here. Look, we went past last week's highs. So we were making new ranges and went underneath last week's highs. And now price is here, right? Close right here, almost to the lows. But NVDA is helping the market, right? So that is your recap of yesterday. Big gaps are always hard to trade. All right, now let's look at what's going on here. Let's just put the little graphic up here. Okay, so let's look at some structure here. Got a big profile here. Got value area. That's all value area, and now we have not a lot of excess here. Really was kind of making volume up here, but it didn't, right? New most traded price of the week, like I said, yesterday's 59.87 right here. As long as you stay above that, it's bullish. Okay, as long as you stay above that, it's bullish. All right, so let's look at some levels here. Now, let's look at this here. Okay, we have a week low. Okay, that's your overnight low and yesterday's low. So we're on 6,007 to 6,004. We came right down. So you didn't fill the gap. Still have this gap. Okay, still have an unfilled gap. Okay, now this level, overnight low, came down and tested it again. Okay, now I said to close at the lows yesterday. We did not close at the lows. We closed up here. Okay, so this area is a place where bulls want to get engaged. All right, you got a demand zone here. Okay, looking at the next level here. Now remember, you have last week's highs right here. That is about 60.36. Okay, that's about 60.36. So for me, that becomes a decent level. 60.3250 is the overnight highs. Well, it's kind of all about that overnight range. You also have, don't forget about that. This is yesterday's highs up here. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking at here. Right, like I said, as long as the market stays above 59.87, 59.80, you're in bullish structure. Okay, you're in bullish structure. All right, so now when you get over to, and we're going to do some scenarios here. Why don't we do that? And I'm going to start off with the bull case. Okay. All right. So we have a weak low here with the gap that's unfilled, 6,007 to 6,004 right here with the gap, and you have another demand zone down here, right? So this level here, and then you have demand here, right, with that 59.87 to 59.80 right here, and you have the month to date VWAP right there. Okay, so anywhere in this area, and in this area demand, this really big box, I'm giving you three levels here, you want to be bullish. So what I would see is push up, maybe we get rejected here, come into here, right, and see if we can hold and push, break out, break into last week's range again, which we tried to do yesterday. Break out at make new range. You do have some supply here, but maybe you could chomp through that, clear those singles. Okay, and try to go up to at least 60.80. All right, now all this is opportunity if the market is not that weak to go long. Every dip down, boop, you can fill the gap and go. You can come down to this area and make it feel a little bit of a bear trap, do one of these, recover, and then you probably don't go that high. You probably go here. Okay, now the next candidate for the most trader price is 60.22. So if that becomes the most trader price of the week right here, it could today, right here, that's bullish. Okay, now just to give you one more scenario here, this is the most trader price of the overnight and the most trader price of yesterday. That also could line up and you can get hold, and then you can make a move. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for the long side. Now as far as the short side goes, okay, you got your weak low here, the confluence low 6,000 to 604 with the unfilled gap below us, right? You do have supply up here, and you have last week's highs. All right, so if I'm a bear, maybe you come up here, go into this level, hit supply, fall off, go through this area. If you go through this area, you're probably going to test yesterday's lows. If you break that, you're going to fill the gap, right? If you fill that gap and get a little more weakness, you're going to test the most traded price of the week, which is that 59.87 to 59.80. If you break that and break the month-to-day VWAP, boy, you could go right down here around 59.34. Now, this is not a prediction. This is just what would happen if all those things happen. Now, the market would have to be pretty weak to do that. Okay, but I'm just giving you scenarios. Okay. All right. I think we're ready for the Nasdaq. Why don't we move over to the Nasdaq here? All right. So look at our little Nasdaq here. Opened up here, pushed down yesterday, moved back up, and closed up here though. Right about the mid part of the session. Overnight's pretty balanced. Okay, very balanced profile in the overnight. Okay, inside yesterday's session, This demand was support. You still have an unfilled gap here. I'm sorry, all this is an unfilled gap. So that's pretty bullish, right? Couldn't fill the gap yesterday, all right? Couldn't fill the gap. The most traded price of the week is 213, around 50. Okay. Now, the most traded price of the last month, okay, could change, but right now it is 220 up here. That could pull the markets up there, 220. The next candidate to move that is 215.50 right here. Okay. This is like you can see there's a node right here that in the 24-hour charts changed to here. Okay, as long as you stay above this level, you should move higher. Okay. Now levels we got to talk about. Okay. Pretty good levels here. Now you can see this is yesterday's highs. Excuse me. Almost went into supply or nipped it, and that was the sell-off. Right. We know we went above the range and closed and held and made new range. Right. We're right now right at last week's highs. Right now. Okay, so we have this 216.59 to 216.46 area with demand below, and you have an unfilled gap. The market holds this, should be pretty bullish. Now you have that candidate for the most traded price of the month down at 215.50, and this demand, right, right here, right. If you hold that, this is still bullish as well. The other thing you have is this week high, the close, and the overnight highs right here, 217.96. Bulls want to break that, sellers want to defend it, right? All right. So that's what it's looking like today. Now I think we're ready for some Nasdaq scenarios here. And let's get into it. We're going to start off with the bull. Okay. Price is right here in the middle of the overnight session. You're almost at the middle. That's not a good area. Okay. So this demand zone is very important. Okay. And you don't fill that gap. The market could come down here. I would love the market to come down here and try to fill that gap, fail, and then the market's not that weak and you just start churning higher. Now you do have supply right here, right here. Now you could probably take out. Now if you get a nice move today, 220 is the target. 220 is the target. Okay, that's one. Now, price is right here. What also could happen, this is the most traded price of the overnight. You can push up, and if you hold this as well, you can push up. That's all I'm really looking at in the NASDAQ as far as longs. Okay. Now, short side. You do have supply here and here. Okay. You do have supply there. Okay, so the close and the overnight low, overnight highs right here, and right in this area. So what we could see is, and then you have the week low here, right? So we could see is a push into here that gets some selling. If you come through this overnight most traded price, which is around 217.52, you are going to test yesterday's lows, this week low, this confluence low here. You got the gap. If you break that, you're going to start trying to fill this gap, and the gap fills around the 215.59. Okay, 215.59, and then you're going to see what you do in this area. If you take out this 214.78, yeah, you're going to go back to 213.50. Okay, so that is the bearish side. Okay, pretty simple. Pretty simple. All right, that is it, folks. That's scenarios. Gave you some news. All right, pretty easy plans to follow. Of course, when the market opens up, it's new data. All right, so then I have to analyze that. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hope you're having a cup of coffee, tea, whatever in your car. You listen to me. I give you the lowdown on the markets, the story, and you just hopefully you get something from this, right? I sum it up for you. I sum it up for you. All right. Hopefully, too, you smash the like button for me if you enjoy my content. All right. Now remember to check out my shorts, right? My trading videos. And please ask me a question, and I post them on my YouTube shorts. Also on X at Gonzo719. All right. And TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. Check me out there. And like I said, Discord. My Discord links in my YouTube. I'm going to wind up adding that to this. But just for now, you go to my Discord. And like I said, trying to build an army, trying to build a community there. Once there's enough people, we'll start really, really getting into what I see day to day. All right. So, with that being said, I think everybody should have a great day today. Remember, no trade's a trade. Stay green. All right. Be very patient. I'm gonna sit back and just wait for the when I know the market taps me on the shoulder and says you need to put risk on. Right. There was a couple times yesterday that I was like, and as soon as I get that feeling, I had to like move away and being like, what am I doing? I know my edge, right? Anyway, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're in the community already, I will be posting some gamma levels today. All right, so hopefully see new people join. All right, take it easy, everybody.